then secondly, we'll have Ashley, Lauren, and Emily share about their experience in Romania. They went primarily to minister both with EEO and in the outreach there to the widows and the poor and needy in the villages. And that's a ministry that's supported by this church, as well as work with some of the youth there in Baco. So we are excited to hear from some of our youth about things that are going on abroad, as well as some things that God did in each and every one of their hearts as they were led and called to minister in this way. Okay, Ashley, Lauren, and Emily.
All right, so for those of you who don't know us, my name is Ashley, this is Emily, and this is my sister Lauren, and we spent 2 weeks in Romania. We left on July 8th, Emily and I did with my dad, and we decided to spend 2 weeks in Romania with Sun Valley's Eastern Europe Outreach Ministry. To be honest, I was excited to arrive in Romania, but I was really not looking forward at all to the traveling. I was terrified of airplanes, and I had been on several airplanes before, but for somehow this time I was just so scared. After we boarded the plane, I sat down and my dad's phone rang, and it was my mom, and I started to cry. And I spoke to her and told her how I was scared to go on an airplane, and she said that as soon as she gets off the phone that she would pray for me. And she reminded me of the verse in Psalms 46, which says, "Be still and know that I am God." I got off the plane and I prayed, and I took some deep breaths, and we started taking off. And thankfully, Emily was sitting right next to me, and she kindly offered me her hand, and I squeezed it almost the entire flight up. And within a few minutes, I wasn't scared anymore, and I could just totally tell and feel that my mom was praying for me. After the lengthy 10-hour plane ride, we had a 4-hour layover in Germany, and by this time, we were exhausted. Oh, yeah. So then we boarded our 2-hour plane ride, and then we arrived in Romania, and we had a 5-hour car drive. And then we finally arrived in Baco. We had a midnight meal, and then we went over to our host home, and we stayed with Nikolai, cucumbers, tons of toast, honey, coffee, and tea. We spent the first Sunday at Plopana in Baco, and the following day we met with the EEO workers from the different cities. Once a month, the team met together and spent a day having fellowship, and the month we were there, they all came to Baco, and together we planned out our 2 weeks. Other than Baco, we decided to spend time in 2 cities, Suceava and Vaslui. One of the first visits we went to was in a village to visit Kosman and his wife. This man, Kosman, was almost completely paralyzed because of a bone disease. Although he was in pain, he was still rejoicing. We even recorded a video of him while he was singing. His wife was supposed to have a heart surgery, but instead she was at home taking care of her husband. The thing that really impressed me was that she was so happy to see us, and especially to see my dad. She had heard about his fall back in November and was so thankful he was alive and walking. Almost everyone that we visited had been praying on their hands and knees for my dad. It was so amazing to hear that people across the world were praying for him. A typical day for us in Romania included a very long car ride, visiting widows in a village, eating lunch on the way, and of course using the famous outhouse. Okay. So the outhouse might look pretty nice on the outside, but on the inside, you just stand on some boards and there's a big hole in the middle, and it's a good idea to take a very good breath before you enter the outhouse. One of the visits we made was to visit Ioana Choka, and the first time I met her was when I was 12. She still had a picture of the two of us in her little home. And I saw that not only my name, but also my mom's, dad's, Lauren's, and Amy's name were written in the back of her Bible. I also know that she has Andrew's name, Mr. Dove's name, Severin's name in her Bible, and I'm very thankful that she prays for each of us daily. We spent a couple of days in Vaslui. We stayed with one of the workers named Marcel Dubé. He's the man on the left next to me. We spent time with their youth group at their church, and one day we took an outing to the forest. We then learned that Yanela and her husband were going to come to the forest too. And we have a little video that Yanela wanted us to show all of you.
Everyone,
Hi,
I'm Liviu.
Yanela.
She's
I
my
know
wife.
you remember me because I was there in your church. So we are three of us.
We are a happy family,
Yes. So we just want to say hi and God bless you.
all of us.
And we wait for you to come here in Romania. It's hot.
But it's wonderful. Good. Come on.
The other city that we traveled to was called Suceava, and we spent time with an EEO worker named Cesar and his family. That's Cesar, his wife, son, and daughter. Even though we were only with them for a few days, somehow their 17-year-old daughter, Paula, though she did not speak much English, she befriended us. Every night we would come home to a homemade meal that Paula had spent all day preparing for us. She would come into our room at night, and we would try to communicate with her little Romanian to English dictionary. We were not only loved and welcomed by Cesar and his family, but also felt very welcomed by his neighbor, Mihai. That's him. One morning at breakfast, Cesar noticed that we were not eating very much. One reason was because there was cheese, and Emily and I are allergic to cheese, but also because Lauren and I don't like tomatoes. He called his neighbor Mihai, and within minutes, cabbage rolls showed up on our table. The day that we left Suceava, Paula surprised each of us with a picture coffee mug with our names on it. Even though we spent little time with one another and did not communicate much, she was crying when we left her. We really enjoyed spending time with the youth in Baco, especially with our translator, Carmen's family. Carmen's family is so musical, and we really liked hearing them sing. One Sunday, we sang part of an English song in Romanian that Carmen's family had helped us learn. My mom was really hoping that we were actually going to try singing the song, but we decided to play just a little part of it instead.